In today's Take a Day, I want to talk about Ty Lue with the Los Angeles Clippers and the changes he's thinking about making in the starting lineup. Now, before we get into that, though, please like, subscribe, also hit the notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. We put out content every day so you won't miss any content here. Let's just go ahead and just jump right into this. Ty Lue making changes to the starting lineup it's definitely a lot of pros and cons with that. Now, to me, the question should be is this something he's going to do throughout the season, or is this just something for now, just so they can get on track and keep it the way it is and allow the team to play out and see how the season goes? Now, that's a good question because, Ty Lue is definitely known for mixing things up. He's definitely known for, throwing a monkey wrench in there, so to say. He's definitely known for being one of those type guys who, bend the rules and, get things done his own way, not listen to outsiders and everything. We saw that last year in the playoffs where they actually dropped a seed to play Dallas where they could have been the 3 seed and they just end up being the 4 seed just for health reasons, as Ty Lue stated or alluded to. And he definitely does things his own way, and he might rub some people the wrong way, but he definitely feels like he's in control of the situation, and he definitely does it the way he wants to. And a lot of times it's worked out, so you can't say that it hasn't worked out and it doesn't work because he's won a championship before, and he knows what it takes to win a championship just because he's had that experience. But with this team here, he has to understand that you have a lot of moving pieces, which means you have a lot of younger pieces and you have a lot of interchangeable pieces, but you don't have your main piece. And when you don't have that, interchangeable pieces and moving pieces in regards to like young players, you don't want to do too much mixing up because, it could really throw off a lot of rhythm and a lot of tempo and everything like that with the team, because a lot of players on your team right now, or I should say a few players, not a lot, a few players really don't understand the system. And that's something that I feel like Ty Lue, has to understand. Now, I do believe they need to play Brandon Boston. I do like what I saw from Brandon Boston, when he played in the summer league. And plus I watched him a little bit, very little. I've seen his highlights and stuff like that in college. And I do like Brandon Boston. I like his versatility. And I like the fact that, he's not one dimensional. So, he can implement players like that, but whatever he does, I would say this personally, whatever starting lineup he decides to do or however he decides to shake up the lineup, he has to me, the one player I feel like he has to keep in the lineup, just my personal opinion, is Nicholas Batum, because Nicholas Batum is a very versatile player. He's lengthy. He can defend. He's a defender, and he can knock down a 3 pretty steadily. His 3-point range is a lot better than what a lot of people probably give him credit for. He is a knockdown shooter, and he's a certified knockdown shooter. So with his versatility as far as playing the 4 and the 5, which Nicholas Batum can do that because he's very versatile. Like I said, he moves his feet really well on defense. He's lengthy, he's long, and he bothers a lot of people's jump shots, and he can alter some hook shots if maybe a big man tries to go in there and body him in the paint, but I'm just saying, I feel like he's the one player I feel like they need to keep in the starting lineup, because I feel like he gives whatever starting lineup he has, Ty Lue has versatility. Nicholas Batum just does that. So to me, as long as they have Batum in there, I'm going to feel happy because I feel like you have at least one versatile weapon in there. Now, of course, the better option would be to have him in the starting lineup along with Serge Ibaka if he comes back healthy, because Serge Ibaka is another versatile type weapon that the Clippers have. They just haven't been able to utilize him because his services haven't really been available because of his health. But if the Clippers can, find a way to, find a lineup they really like, or should I say Ty Lue find a lineup he really likes and kind of stick with it and see how it goes. I really think that would be the more ideal situation. But I really don't know if Ty Lue is going to do a lot of mixing up with the teams and everything like that. With the lineups and everything like that throughout the season. But I kind of hope he doesn't, because it can really throw off a lot of chemistry, or it can stop or leave the chemistry they have. It can stay stagnant. You see what I'm saying? It might not work out. And Ty Lue's favor this time, because when you're changing starting lineups, when you have everybody there, it's different because you have all your players there at your disposal and you're just making a few minor adjustments here and there to, get extra rebounds. You might throw a big man in there to get extra rebounds, or maybe one or two more blocks, or give this player extra minutes, something like that. But when you're trying to just throw pieces in there back and forth throughout the whole season, making lineup changes, I'm not sure if that's going to work for the Clippers, but it's not up to me. It's up to Ty Lue. Ty Lue makes the decisions and everybody has to go with it. And that's just the way it is. I'm just seeing with this team right now, it really is not going to make much difference how much of a starting lineup you change. I mean, like I said, I would like to see, Brandon Boston in there, maybe one or two other players, get an opportunity. But I really don't. I think, finding minutes for, certain players is more important than actually lineup changing the whole time, if that's what Ty Lue is going to do, because everybody on the team, their talent, what they can do. The starting lineup he has on the floor now is good enough to be better than the record 1-4. They're just not, because it just didn't land that way. The dice didn't fall that way. But you have to kind of, see what you got and kind of just go from there. And I understand Ty Lue wants to make, shake some things up, because the Clippers, going 1-5 and, 2-6 and, 2-7 and 2-8, all them type records, that's not what Ty Lue wants. And that's not what this team hopes for themselves. They hope for better. And I definitely understand that. But, to me, it could be a gift and a curse switching up the lineup this early in the season, but I guess if of course, if you don't see the light with the team and with the way the roster is now, you don't see them propelling to get the job done. You got to do what you got to do. But honestly, you don't have that many players on the bench that are much better than your starters right now. That's just the way it is. So to me, I would, basically, like players like Brandon Boston, I would find minutes for Brandon Boston, maybe get him in the starting lineup, maybe try it and see, or maybe some other players that you might want to play, give them some extra minutes, but don't put them in the starting lineup, because maybe they might not be ready for that. Like a Jay Scrub or somebody like that, they might not really be ready to go into the starting lineup and really contribute to help the team win. So it's like, it's tricky. It's a very tricky situation to me. And I know Ty Lue will figure it out, but at the same time, I really hope they figure it out, because you're 1-4 now. You don't want to be 3-10 or something like that, in a couple weeks from now, and you're sitting around looking at yourself. You're like the number 12 seed, which you are now in the West currently, and you're a Jekyll and Hyde team all during the season, because you don't want to find yourself in a play-in tournament. And I guarantee that's not what they want, especially with Kawhi Leonard. If he does come back, he's not going to have rhythm for at least like another month, even if he does come back in April. So it's like, you have to find the right lineup, but you also have to stay consistent with the guys you have and trust that they figure it out as well. You see what I'm saying? It can't be a lineup change every month in the season because your team is not winning the way you think they should. It just kind of doesn't work that way. And I hope that Ty Lue doesn't do it that way. But I mean, we have to see, because right now, he's fishing. He needs something to start working, because this team, in their mind, they have higher expectations. Steve Ballmer opens up an arena, all this other stuff, and you're still not getting the production, or should I say he opens up a new arena, but you're not getting the production this year so far in the early part of the season of a team that looks motivated, ready to go, and trying to make a statement for themselves. The team just doesn't look like that. And, of course, it's not Steve Ballmer's fault or anything like that. But, Steve Ballmer puts a lot into this team, a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of time. And, the Clippers got to be better. They have to be much better. They can't be 1-4 and starting out slow. Kawhi Leonard's not there. You got pretty much all the players you had last year. You re-signed Reggie. You got Marcus Morris, Luke Kennard. You re-signed Nicholas Batum. You got good enough players to win some of these games that you're losing, and it's just really, really not a good look for the Clippers, not a good look at all to me. So, I mean, they're going to really have to, try to figure things out. and put the pieces together, because, if they don't, then they could find themselves out of the playoffs. And hell, if it gets too far in the season and Kawhi sees that, he might not even decide to come back, because like I said, what would be the point if he comes back and, they're not even in contention to make the playoffs? And see, this is what I'm saying. Like, Ty Lue has a lot of decisions to make, but he also has to pull the right strings out of some of these other players, or these players on the team right now, because the Clippers are just not gelling the way I thought they probably would, based on what they gave us and gave the world last year in the playoffs, even without Kawhi Leonard. So it's just not working right now, but we'll see how it goes tonight. I think they play the Thunder. That's not going to be a very, very easy win, but it's a winnable game for the Clippers. And I think they have to find themselves and look at themselves in the mirror and go out there and win this game and put themselves in potential to be better going forward in the season, and build some confidence with this team. That's just pretty much where it's going to go. I think the Clippers will get it together, but who knows when. We'll just, they have to just take it game by game and see how it pans out for them. But right now, the Clippers are not looking the way they wanted to. They didn't get off to the start that they had hoped. And it's just weird. It's just not good to hear Ty Lue thinking lineup changes with 5 games in the season. That's just not, that's really not a good look. And it just doesn't really bode well for the team going forward. And hopefully they get it together, but we'll see how it goes. But hey, that's my take on the situation. Leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Cali out.